All right, good morning. They talk about Dunwoody's trails a little bit. They're definitely a focal point for the city these days. And almost every one of our transportation projects includes some type of trail component. And I think one reason this works well for us is the scale or the size of our city makes it where if you have facilities that people feel comfortable riding on, they can get to any place in the city within, it's very accessible by bike or scooter or whatever type of, um, alternative mode of transportation you want to use. Now, right, for example, riding at an average speed of, for a biker to get from the Dunwoody MARTA station to Mount Vernon Road, which pretty much spans the district on the Dunwoody side, it's about a 10-minute bike ride. So we feel like providing these facilities really will make it accessible for people that want to ride for recreation or want to use transit and not use their cars. In the perimeter area of Dunwoody, we've already built a fair network of bike lanes, which make a lot of the district already accessible by bike if you feel comfortable riding on the roadway. It didn't cost the city a lot of money to do this. We did a lot of it through when we repaved the road, we would just move the lines to accommodate bike lanes. So it was very cost-effective way to get some type of facilities on the road. But we recognize that a lot of people don't feel comfortable riding on the roadway so close to traffic. So we've started to implement, looks like we're frozen. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, it's moving around.
Okay, I was my screen was frozen for a minute. So we started to implement paths or trails that are separated from the roadway, most of which have been built so far in the perimeter area through new development projects. About a year ago, the city council adopted a trail master plan for the city. What's shown here is a part of the trail map that includes the perimeter area. These are trails planned on many of the main roads in perimeter, with a few off-road trails such as the one labeled W3 here, which would follow Nancy Creek on the east side of the perimeter district. From a big picture or regional perspective, we're really focused on connecting perimeter to the rest of the trails in the region, as the other cities have talked about also. To the south and west, we want to connect perimeter to Path 400 trail system. And then to the north, we're focused on connecting to the Dunwoody Village area of the city. And then to the east, we want to connect into Gwinnett's trail system. Some planned projects that we have in the works to try to do that. We've got a couple under construction right now, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have some in various stages of planning and design. Our short-term goals really are to get connected between, say, the Dunwoody MARTA station and Dunwoody Village to the north, and then connecting to the east to our existing trail system in Georgetown and Brook Run Park. One of the trails under construction right now is we're calling it Ashford Dunwoody Phase 1. We're going to be finishing this very soon. You can see the picture here. A lot of it's already done. We're just working on the plazas and some of the final landscaping. And this will complete the section in front of Perimeter Mall along Ashford Dunwoody. Will be a two-way bike path and then a separate sidewalk. Phase 2 of the Ashford Dunwoody Trail, we're getting ready to start securing the right-of-way and easements that are needed to build that. This would go from the mall or Perimeter Center West up to Meadow Lane to the new Publix development. The picture here shows a section of that path has already been built when they built the Publix development. And so we're gonna focus on connecting the piece that we're finishing at the mall with this section up at Publix. We have a few other projects that are in planning or early design stages, one of which is Perimeter Center East, which we are talking to the CID about getting started with a connection that would use Perimeter Center East to connect the Ashford-Dunwoody Trail to Two Bridges Park, and the bridge, which is already built, shown here, the bridge over the creek into our Georgetown neighborhood. We're really excited about the possibilities for this trail along Perimeter Center East. It can be a really nice greenway with a lot of trees and shade right in the middle of the perimeter area. And then after you cross the bridge going into Georgetown, we're working on a section of path along 285 that would be part of a regional top-end 285 trail network. And it would connect perimeter to our Georgetown area along Chamblee-Dunwoody Road. And we recently received a earmark from Congressman Johnson to begin design, and we're currently working with the Georgia Department of Transportation to coordinate with their top-end managed lane project. And then the last one that we're working on connected to perimeter is the Mount Vernon Trail System. We have one section, it's divided up into 2 or 3 sections. We have one section that should go to construction later this year, and it will be a path along the north side of Mount Vernon, eventually from one end of the city to the other, but right now we're focused on getting from Dunwoody Village out to the jet ferry area. So I'll be happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Looks like our only outstanding question here is actually a Brookhaven one, so we'll come back around to that one at the end. Do we have any other, if anyone has any other questions for Michael or anyone else, feel free again to put those in the Q&A. We are happy to circle back around on them, but thank you so much, Michael, for the overview and the exciting trail projects underway in the city of Dunwoody.
Thank you.
Oh, here we got one question just came in, said, how will the path run alongside the Chick-fil-A on Hammond?
That's a good question. That's a pretty constrained area there with the slope and the wall that's already there, and there's some utilities in that slope. We've been looking at that with the CID, and what we'll have to do is probably relocate some utilities and cut the slope back and put a larger wall in there and get a little bit of right of way to do that. So that's why that section, even though it's a short section, hasn't been connected yet, because it's a pretty complicated section to fill in.